overall product success is not just how well you build the products, it's also about how well you communicate it to the customers. You can't remain in isolation where the communication going into marketing are different and product is something different and delivery is confused what to deliver to the customer. Your landing pages has to be engaging for the customer to be able to communicate or meet up the expectation that they got into the marketing campaigns or channels. When it comes to conversion rate optimization, people focus on how is conversion rate changing, what is the uplift in conversion. But if people don't understand how the customer browsing behavior is changing, how the customers are navigating through the new design. Product managers are surrounded by marketing people, sales people. Everybody has their own different problems they want to get solved first. Then there's consumer whose problem you're really supposed to solve first.
Welcome to another episode of CRO Wizards Season 2 by BWO Podcast. With hours of in-depth conversations, we talk about using CRO to deliver what your users want, while also driving long-term growth for your business. Before we speak to our guest, here's a very quick overview of what we do. BWO is a leading experience optimization platform that enables you to gather in-depth user insights and build winning experiences across your website and mobile app. BWO Copilot, our AI champion, handles the heavy lifting of suggesting test ideas, creating variations, and finding insights, so you can focus on making strategic decisions that drive growth. Now, without further delay, let's jump right back to this conversation.
This time, we are joined by Pushpendra Sharma. Pushpendra's journey is really inspiring. Starting his career at LG and Deloitte, he later took the reins as General Manager of Products at Cars24. Now, he's shaping the future of digital-first consumer brands as a Senior Product Manager at Honasa Consumer Limited, home to brands like Mamaearth, the Derma Co, Aqualogica, BBLUNT, Dr. Sheets, and Staze. In this episode, we'll dive into his experience in product management, digital transformation, and growth strategies that drive real impact. So, hi Pushpendra, welcome to CRO Wizards.
Hey Shavi.
Awesome.
Hi everyone. Really excited to be here.
Awesome. We are so excited to have you here too. So, how are you doing today?
Today was less overwhelming than yesterday. But yeah, I kept some free time for this conversation.
What's something exciting you're working on right now?
So, lots of exciting stuff, especially like I was reading through the marketing report from Inc. 42, which is saying that about in next 5-10 years, the BPC online industry will grow by 28 to 30% growth rate. So we are seeing that consumer behavior is changing. Customers are more concerned about their skins and what they use on their skin. So I think just the market consumer, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening, shaping the industry.
Guy, that's really exciting. Is it not just for beauty industry, but is it a trend that you're looking at all over the space of SaaS, or what's your thought on that then?
I think COVID changed the industries forever. It sort of pushed us 5 years in forward in digital journey. Earlier, digital was picking up at a good pace, but then COVID amplified those.
Makes sense. I mean, the actual digital transformation triggered or got started because of COVID. So I think I just want to now get straight into a couple of questions that we prepared. So first question that I wanted to ask is since you're heading the product management efforts, I would love to know what does your typical day look like? Which teams do you collaborate with, to execute strategies and work towards, you have a certain KPIs that you want to achieve, right? So how does all of this look like?
So product management comes at a center where you work with marketing team, product teams, and then you have the technology team which shapes your ideas and deliver it to the customer. So it's easy to get swayed into a lot of meetings and be busy throughout the day. So I typically start my day with thinking about what's the one thing that's big important for me today.
Oh, wow.
It could be either I'm thinking about the roadmap, which is the next steps, what will I do in the next 6 months. Sometimes it is about what I've done and what I've learned through the past experiments or past changes that we have done in the product. Or sometimes just open exploration, talking to customers, going through the surveys to understand how the customers are shifting or changing.
Wow. Since you brought up the, product map, product roadmaps, I would really love to understand, uh, aligning the product roadmap with business objectives is, absolutely crucial is what I understand. So how important is stakeholder buy-in, when pushing ideas that is hard to convince them of?
Uh, well, the organization and overall product success is not just how well you build the products. It's also about how well you communicate it to the customers. How are you able to create the buzz and market about your offering and product services that you have? And then the product that is able to meet or exceed those customer expectation when they consume those products and services. And lastly, the sales, distribution, or delivery channels that are able to deliver that seamless experience, purchase or post purchase. You have to be at the center of it, and you can't remain in isolation where the communications going into marketing are different and product is something different and delivery is confused what to deliver to the customer. So that's a disaster situation. So it's absolutely critical for companies to succeed. The product manager has to align very well with the marketing and the delivery team. Now, coming to the part where the ideas that are hard to convince them of, I think it's not more about the ideas, but about how the trust and personal relationship that you have. So if you have the kind of trust and mutual respect for each other's work that you develop through personal connect and working together for a long time, then it's just a mutual respect kind of. If you believe in this idea, while I don't believe, we disagree, but we commit to this idea and we get this done and see through the result.
Got it. Since you mentioned about, streamlining the product recommendations and such, what kind of tools do you use, or when it comes to experimentation, how do you do this risk assessment?
Risk assessment is important. You simply can't ship anything to the production and learn from there. So there are two steps to the risk management. First is, before going into the production, how can you validate your solution or problem with the customer? So we do a user testing where we sit in person with some people from within our organization who are not really into the deep work of what we do, who can give us unbiased opinion like a natural customer would do. Okay, how would they interact with the product? What is their feedback or feel of the product? So it's not about walking them through the product, but it's just observing how they behave on the new product or the designs.
Um, I'm still
So
trying to,
that's
grasp that part in the sense like, will it be more of a, you'd be just looking how they are interacting with the product, but how do you do that? How do you see how they are behaving?
so we just give them a sort of working prototype and tell them, okay, you wanted to buy a face wash. You, let's say, landed on this website from an Facebook ad or Google search. Uh, just go to the page and let us know what do you think. Just like think loudly so that we can hear your thoughts.
Got it. So when I spoke to other product managers, they also do the user behavior research to other no different frameworks. Is there something that you also follow here at Mama?
So we have a lot of customers who are already reaching out to us on the support channels, chats, or calls. Then it gives us a sense of what kind of customers' problems are there with the product. Then we also collect NPS scores and feedback on the website after purchase. We get a
NPS.
lot of feedback from there as well. So we collect those feedback, condense it, and figure out top two, three problems that our customers are facing. And then for further solutioning, we do an in-person interview or sit with customers who have given us a good feedback. Then we sit with them and understand what's their expectation or the problems that the product is not meeting.
Got it. So, since you mentioned the NPS and feedback from the clients, right? How do you prioritize the problems? Like, which one to take first, which one should be, put it for later? How do you prioritize that?
So prioritization is a combination of qualitative and quantitative. We are more data-driven organization. So if we can put a number, if we know how many customers are impacted, that helps us prioritize. However, there are things where like design doesn't look good to customers, and we have gotten two, three feedback from the customers. So we fix it regardless of the prioritization.
Got it. So, since you mentioned quantitative and qualitative data, how do you combine quantitative and qualitative data to improve product experiences?
So we don't have a structured, let's say, quantitative comes first or qualitative comes first. It's always in conjunction.
That was my
Um,
second question. Like, does one come
yeah.
first and the other later, or is there any set order?
So anything can come first. Sometimes data can tell you that customers are dropping off at, let's say, checkout stage mostly, or customers are facing troubles in applying the coupons. And then qualitative data, that's the qualitative data. Qualitative, sorry, I got confused. So that's the quantitative data which helps you give the number that how many customers are impacting at which stage of the journey. And then the qualitative data is where we sit with customers and understand how they are and what are the challenges they are facing.
Got it. So, with the qualitative data part, right? I also wanted to understand, given that, you share some features, let's say you've launched or decided not to ship based on test results or user feedback, are there any kind of features that you've decided not to ship?
Well, yes. So in today's world, information is in abundance, and customers are spending a lot of time on internet, but their attention and time spent on one content is very small. For example, if we talk about our website, average session lasts less than 2 minutes, right? So your landing pages has to be engaging for the customer to be able to communicate or meet up the expectation that they got into the marketing campaigns or channels. So we are brutal in a way that if launch some feature and if it doesn't give us any incremental value in terms of customer experience or conversion rate, then we kill it.
Are there any particular features that you want to share?
There was this one feature I analyzed a lot of data and saw that many customers are buying the same product. So I thought maybe they are not really exploring the other products and they could be interested in the other product, which we have some through learning the past experience. So we launched this feature when a customer land on our product after a purchase. We showed them some recommendation based on the past or the majority data learning, but they didn't increase the average order value. So we had to remove that widget and go back to the previous sorting.
Got it. So before releasing any particular, features like this, do you also A/B test, or how do you go about releasing a particular feature?
So we are a data-driven organization. So whatever we launch we first see if we can do a A/B test to establish the incrementality. In today's world, when a lot of SaaS offers coming in, products offering coming in, uh, they claim or attribute the purchases to them, but you actually don't know whether the customer would have purchased the same thing without those features or not. So it's so you have to establish the incrementality that by having this feature or by not having this feature, what is the delta in customers and business we are getting.
Got it. It's also hard, right, to find the accurate attribution that prompted a particular user to buy something.
Yes, it is.
But do you track somehow in Mamaearth, or how is that?
Yes, we track the attribution of purchase to the marketing channels clearly. That's the most important thing. Feature wise, we attribute it to the right coupons. So we map customers, products, and then the offers that they have gotten.
Got it. Understood. So I also have one more question. Like, I was just really wondering, when it comes to product management, right? What are the three product management challenges, both at the tactical and strategic level, that when solved lead to product wins?
So the biggest challenge is cutting through the noise to get to the core customer problem. So product managers are surrounded by marketing people, sales people, delivery people, right? So everybody has their own different problems they want to get solved first. Then there's consumer whose problem you're really supposed to solve first. So yeah, I think ability to navigate through those noises and find the right top customer problem, that's the first thing. Then solving those is the second thing, where you use your curiosity and creativity to find the right solutions.
Got it. So, like, how do you go about even solving, that particular solution? I understand the curiosity part, but do you have some kind of a process or any proven strategies that you can share with people who are watching it?
So there's no one rule that fits all or framework that fits for the solution. Product management is actually a very iterative job where you launch an MVP, see if the problem that you initially thought should be solved with this solution gets fixed or not. You get some early learnings and traction on that. And then you keep on building on that. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works, but over the you and your customers and your success rate improves.
Got it. That's something really interesting to ponder upon. So, I also want to understand. I ask this question to everyone. So, since we are going into the age of AI, and how is Gen AI impacting product managers' workflow these days, and how are you using it for your work?
So, Chennai, we are right now at an inflection point and we have just scratched the surface. So there's a lot changes going to come in the future. But if I talk about my journey, earlier going from 1,000 feedback was really painful, and the ability to categorize or analyze them was difficult. There was always a bit of subjectivity. Now I simply put those 1,000 customer feedbacks to ChatGPT or Gemini, and they sort of identify the typical patterns and give me what is the top 3 pain points for my customer in less than a minute now.
Okay.
So understanding customer feedback, writing PRD, email, or anything that has to do with text has gotten a lot faster. And during experimentation, right, I had to write a lot of SQL queries to understand the A/B test impact of any feature. Now, I'm able to write those queries at a much faster pace, and I'm spending almost like 25% time in doing the analysis rather than earlier. So it has made me like twice or thrice productive in that sense.
Got it. So, can you also recommend a few tools that others can also use? You mentioned ChatGPT, Gemini.
ChatGPT and Gemini are the two things that work great for me. I think more or less every GPT is performing at similar kind of level.
Got it. So, also, I would like to, just take a little, want to like to pivot from the actual conversation and make it a little lighter piece where, just wanted to
Yeah.
understand what's your favorite travel destination and why?
Well, my favorite travel destinations are always the natural getaways or safaris and wildlife sanctuaries.
So, more of a nature person.
Yeah, I'm a nature person. So I almost like every weekend I go through some trails or hiking, running.
Okay, so a pure mountain person, not a beach. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you can say that.
Cool, got it. So I just want to, have a quick rapid fire session where I'm gonna just throw the questions to you. Would love to know your thoughts on it. So first one, if you were starting a career in CRO today, what is the one thing that you would do differently?
No, I would focus more on inputs rather than outputs. So when it comes to conversion and rate optimization, a lot of people focus on how is conversion rate changing, what is the uplift in conversion. But if people don't understand how the customer browsing behavior is changing, how the customers are navigating through the new design. So yeah, I think I would focus more on the inputs, and understanding the inputs will make you better product manager in long term.
Got it. So that's when the qualitative data of understanding user behavior comes
Yes.
in. Makes sense. So just on that follow up question, like apart from feedback surveys, user research, do you also use heat maps or session recordings?
We haven't used them extensively because whenever we try to implement, they sort of slow down the website performance.
Oh,
And
okay.
that anyway sort of changes the customer behavior because the website is working slow, then the customer behavior is not going to be the same as how it's going to be on fast website.
Oh, got it. Okay, you had a pretty terrible experience with heat maps then.
Yeah.
Got it. So when it comes to mobile, then how is that you're ensuring that able to see the inputs then?
So we have the GA events. So while we don't have the heat map, which is visually easy to process, we put the GA event on the key interaction, and we kind of create a virtual heat map through data analysis that where the customers are clicking the most, how the customers are navigating through the pages.
Got it. Understood. So the next question I have for you is that a newsletter that every CRO professional must follow.
Oh,
Do you follow any newsletters?
I follow, not CRO newsletter, but I follow product newsletters. I follow Akash Gupta, mostly Akash Gupta.
Got it. Any plans that you're going to start your own newsletter?
Not anytime soon.
Got it. So, any three books that you would recommend to the listeners?
I think I was going through my archives of books that I've read. So, hard thing about hard things is my best recommendation for product managers. It has a chapter called Good Product Manager versus Bad Product Manager.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
what did it say? Like good product manager versus bad product manager. What is the differentiation?
So I think the core practice good product managers are the kind of CEOs who are able to get work done working with marketing tech, and they have the ability to get those people together. And yeah, I think there's not focus on ownership rather than excuses. Uh, yeah, that's the core theme of that chapter.
Got it. So product managers should be a lot more accountable.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So one thing I wanted to again touch upon the AI is that what is that one thing that AI will replace in the next 3 years?
AI will replace in the next 3 years. I think copywriters.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think we don't need, we won't need copywriters anymore with so many GPTs coming in.
Got it. What about product managers? What about AI agents replacing product managers?
We don't see that happening anytime sooner, but I think at least good product managers will survive, thrive on the AI boom, and they will become 2, 3x more proficient in their job. So that's the near future that I can see. So AI is still evolving, so we won't know when the time comes when the product managers are not needed. But product managers are the kind of CEOs of the product. So
Yeah,
I think AI will need to reach where they can replace the CEO itself.
I think that's a really good analogy. So
Yeah.
once if the AI can think like an CEO, that's when we will be able to see an AI. So if we can think like an CEO, like any other job in the market is going to vanish. Is that right?
Uh, I, I don't think every other job is going to vanish. I think, for example, developers, which is another case, like, of course, you won't need developers to write the typical code that they are writing. In the future, the developers would be writing or training the GPT models to write the code for them. So, yes, of course, the number of developers we need today to build any feature will drastically reduce in future. That would lead to some job losses, but that doesn't mean that developer as a role will be over.
Got it. So it's more like
So,
it's an assistant.
yes, it's going to be assistant, and those who sort of use it, leverage it to skill and navigate through the transition will survive, thrive, and scale. And those who don't adopt will perish.
Got it. Makes sense. So I want to ask one more question is that, if you're not a product manager, what other profession would you have chosen?
If I wasn't a product manager, I would have been a scientist.
Oh, any specific industry or area?
I was always fascinated by that mega factory show on Nat Geo, so I could have been an automobile R&D scientist. Yeah. I watched a lot of Nat Geo mega factories.
That just shows now. So,
Yeah.
coming back to the CRO part, one CRO metric that you wish people should stop obsessing over.
I think conversion. I think the obsession with conversion should stop, because the problem with this, people focus on conversion, which is output of something. So if something doesn't work in A/B test, it doesn't mean that whole product or design is not working. There could be some elements that are working out. There could be some elements not working out. And if you don't really understand the details in depth, like what are the input that is leading to that output, you won't be able to iterate or build beautiful products. For example, if the objective is by increasing the engagement, your conversion should improve, then the input can be the session duration increase. Are we able to stick with customer for longer duration? If you go into further depth, like then you can go into like what was the content, how did customer perceive it, what was the CTR on it. So yeah, of course, the input can go to as long as you want.
Got it. So people should stop obsessing about conversion. Is that what you mean, right?
Conversions or any output metric and should focus more or equally on inputs as well. That what is causing those conversion rate changes and see what is working for customers and what is not working for customers.
So one last question is that a dream or goal you want to achieve in the next 3 years?
Well, currently and in future, I want to build a BPC company for like which we are building currently for aspirational India, where they are able to find the best product which meets their needs and the deliveries that exceed their expectation.
Wow, that's a pretty big dream. So,
Yeah.
so how long? I mean, is that what you plan for the next 3 years, or is it more of a long-term dream for you?
I really actually don't put timelines to my dreams
Got it.
because every day I keep pushing in that direction. Sometimes innovations helps you to reach faster at that stage. I think the goal or vision is always ambitious. There's always better way to do things than what you are doing currently.
Wow. So, but then always product managers are tied with timelines, right? So,
Yes, yes, you have to break it down into smaller pieces and deliver continuously.
God, I wish you all the best for your dream of building a BPC.
Thank you, Shavi.
Okay, so I think we're almost at the end of the session. So, what are your final thoughts, and on the overall context of CRO, product management?
Well, I think product management, as long as the company CEO's role is there, is going to exist. But a typical need of product manager is evolving. A lot of people think of it as customer focused role, whereas it's not just a customer focused role, it's equally business focused role. And you have to find a sweet spot between customer problems and the business needs and create something that creates value for the customer, create value for the business.
Absolutely true. Which is a lot of product managers are trying to move towards that direction,
Yeah.
because having just a product but without business needs would not be able to sustain for a longer period. But having these
Yes.
two,
Definitely.
true, that makes sense. So, what is your favorite quote that you hold dear to your heart that you want to just close as the final thoughts?
So I think there's a freaking proverb which says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
That's very true. Just the essence of
Yeah.
a product manager, that you have to work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I think a lot of all the product managers should have it as a pin in their
On their desk.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it was very lovely talking to you, having gotten a lot of insights into that you have to prioritize on the inputs rather than just being obsessed over outputs, and how you go about scaling the efforts of personalization. There was so much more that we touched upon, and there was so much more insights that I learned, and I hope all the audience who's going to watch it is also going to get all these insights. And it was a real pleasure talking to you, and I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you.
Same here, Shavi. Yeah, it's been a great conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.